The new Whirlpool W collection with Sixth Sense technology that fully guides you to achieve perfect results. Whirlpool, sensing the difference.
Welcome back. Who is in need of a breakfast treat? Well, Krissy Gibson from Take the Cake has the perfect recipe for this cold winter morning.
How do butternut squash muffins sound?
Well, we've stolen some already.
Hang on, we disclaimer by
and they
two.
are absolutely delicious. I'm kind of worried that we were taking too many of them. So sorry,
No,
Krissy.
I always come with too much.
You do.
So they are so easy. You're not going to believe how easy these are.
Looking forward to it.
What might surprise you is that we're going to use the rind as well.
Oh,
so
really?
We'll talk about that for a minute.
Even
because
better, easier.
So I told you. A lot of people might think that when you're using squash, you need to cut off the rind and throw it away. But when you cook a courgette, do you peel it? No, you leave it. There's a lot of nutritional value in the skin. So you don't want to throw it away. Why would you? There's loads of fiber in it, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, so we're going to keep it, okay?
So butternut squash muffins, would they be similar taste as in a sweet/savoury to carrot cake?
Yeah.
They are sweet.
Yes. The ones we're making today are lighter and slightly more elegant and simple.
Okay.
You're not going to have as much going on. I don't know about how you make your carrot cake, but mine has loads of freshly grated carrots, walnuts, pineapple, coconut, so there's more eating in it.
I'd love to know how Laura cooks her carrot cake. How do you do it, Laura?
Yeah, Laura.
I've never made
I've never made it in her life.
But look what I'm doing here. I'm just cutting these up roughly, okay? We're going to use 400 grams of the squash, and we want to use it all, including the rind, because there's loads of vitamins and minerals in there. And think of it like an apple. You don't.
Well, so much easier than peeling it anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything. So this is 400 grams exactly. I've already weighed this out. So we're going to put this into the food processor. Another thing that makes this so simple is that it all happens in the food processor.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So you don't have, we're not even using two.
So you're not roasting the squash off first and all that kind of
raw.
stuff? Great.
Raw with the rind on. Just make sure that before you cut it up, you have washed your squash.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're gonna have a loud noise
Make
here
some
for
noise.
a second,
Go on.
okay?
Wash the squash.
So we're gonna chop this up fine, okay?
That's a
Doesn't take
great
long.
machine you've
Look
got
at
there.
that. It is.
Yeah.
I know, I use this every day. So we're gonna chop this up fine. It doesn't take long, okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're gonna add to that 350 grams of light muscovado sugar. Okay, it looks like a lot because my bowl is pretty flat. 350 grams of light muscovado sugar is a little less than 2 cups, say 1 3/4 cups. Don't use dark muscovado sugar. That's gonna taste too molassesy.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add 4 eggs, okay?
Okay.
You can just crack them right in. You don't have to mix them the way I did. So,
Sugar, egg, squash.
Yeah.
turn it back on. And at this point, we're going to just take a spatula and wipe the sides of our food processor because we're going to need to. We're going to have loads of pieces of squash around the sides, and we want to get it all mixed in. Now, at this stage, we're going to add the dry ingredients, and you don't want to over-mix it. And there's a reason for that. We're using self-raising flour, and do you know what can happen if you over-mix a dough? The gluten will become too combined. You'll end up having a chewy muffin.
Yeah.
Who likes a chewy muffin?
Who likes a chewy muffin?
So we're adding
Discuss.
300 grams of self-raising flour. We're adding 15 grams of baking powder, not bread soda, but baking powder. So that's about, I don't know, two healthy teaspoons.
Did you say that was self-raising flour, Krissy?
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this is a teaspoon of cinnamon.
My favorite.
Sorry, Simon.
It's okay.
You know how I like to torture you with
But you
cinnamon.
put in cinnamon the last time into one of the dishes you were cooking or baking, and he thought
And
it was
himself.
absolutely gorgeous.
I know. He's just a pain in the. You know, Simon. I think
She loves you, though.
I do. I think he likes cinnamon.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to admit
He
it.
doesn't like to tell anybody. Yeah,
We're
I
just
don't
gonna
know
play
what to do.
along.
Yeah.
So I've also added 50 grams of walnuts there, okay?
Lovely.
50 grams of walnuts. And then lastly, actually, I'll add that through the top. We're gonna add 175 mils of olive oil.
All right.
Now use whatever kind of olive oil you like.
That's to get the sort of moistness
Yeah.
to the muffins, yeah.
But you know what else? It isn't just the olive oil that makes it moist, it's the butternut squash.
Yeah.
Anytime time we bake with fruit or veg, do you remember when we made chocolate courgette bread together? You guys thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
But what happens is you get a really moist and flavorful bread, almost like a cake, okay?
And it's
so
sweet.
I've added 175 mils of olive oil. I'm gonna give it one more blitz. And we're done. Now we have our batter. You see, we have...
Let's have a look at the consistency of it. Okay.
Oh, it's fairly runny.
Yeah, it's runny, but you see how it's not perfectly smooth?
Yeah.
We've got some bits in it, and that's okay. There are a couple of things that you can add to this in addition to what I've done today. You could add a pinch of salt if you want. I don't, because I don't think you need it. And also, you could add a couple of pinches of nutmeg if you want.
All right,
it's that time of year. It'll give you a seasonal flavor. Now, we're going to fill our muffin tins about, let's say, 3/4 full. I use this.
Could you bake it
scooper.
as a cake? Like you poured it into that dish there,
Yeah, you could, and you could make it as a loaf as well. I like to do the muffins. The time that I put on your recipe on your website is for muffins, okay? So on your website, you'll see that it's 20 minutes. Obviously, if you end up doing a loaf or a cake, you're just gonna wanna increase the baking time.
Sure.
Okay?
That's
so,
an ice cream scoop.
do you know what this is?
Great
It's just,
idea.
yeah, you can use a regular spoon, obviously. I do that because it's quicker and it gives you the right measurement.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bake this for 20 minutes. You might need a few extra minutes depending upon how warm your oven is.
And would you just be piercing the center?
No,
At
don't
all
bother.
to see if- make
Don't
sure it's
bother.
not too gooey?
So these I just took out of the oven a minute ago. I forgot to mention something. Before you bake them, you can sprinkle a bit of cinnamon sugar on the top if you want.
Cinnamon sugar, wow.
Yeah. Now, Simon, I've done a few today without cinnamon and sugar for you.
So Precious doesn't
Because
have
we
to
have to
taste
do
it.
these things.
Precious doesn't have to taste.
Yeah, that's
God love
Simon.
him. Big
So-
fed here this morning.
So here we have a muffin without cinnamon on the top for himself.
Oh,
And Laura, you'll eat the
I'm so
cinnamon.
switching them. No, after all your hard work, Krissy, I
And
will.
Thank you,
there's a
Krissy.
nice warm one for
They're
you
just
too,
so
Laura.
perfectly formed. Nothing's even
that.
falling out the side.
Yeah, this is a really no-fuss recipe. It's easy, it's straightforward. There's nothing complicated about it, you know? And they always turn out perfect.
Look at that, perfect.
It is.
They're just
And the
gorgeous.
hot.
And also, too, you know, it can be hard figuring out what to do with squash this time of year. It's
Sure.
everywhere.
Would you have used pumpkin in the same recipe?
You
few
can, but
weeks
then
ago?
you're making pumpkin muffins.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could
absolutely.
change it over.
Absolutely.
Everything else stays the same.
They're both really friendly squash.
Oh, man.
So good. I mean, I already know
what
that
do you
because I've
think?
eaten them already.
That's just delicious.
Isn't that nice?
It's like carrot cake,
Oh.
but lighter.
Yeah, it is. It's lighter, it's soft, it
Mm-hmm.
has a really nice texture, doesn't it?
Really delicious.
So
These are
good.
hot as well, Krissy.
They're still really warm, so they might be falling apart a little bit. I would suggest that before you dig into them, after you've taken them out of the oven, just let them sit for a good 10 minutes
No.
before you
No.
eat them, because you want them to stay together once you open
Sure.
the paper. I mean, I literally just took those out of the oven.
We're not
They are.
complaining. These are absolutely delicious, Krissy.
Thanks.
They are
Thank
Now,
you.
if you're allergic to walnuts, you could change the nuts. You don't have to add walnuts. You can leave the walnuts out altogether, or you could use pecans or
Very
cashews.
delicious. That is gorgeous.
I'm
Thank
glad
you,
you like
Krissy.
them.
Pleasure as always. As ever, the full recipe details are up on our website, or check out Krissy's own website, takethecake.ie, for more of her recipes and, more importantly, her stockists where you can get these.
Delicious. Thanks so
Thanks,
much again,
Krissy.
Krissy. Up next, how would you like to win a private
Oh.
concert with Nathan Carter? Yes, please. He's about to tell us how after the break. See you in 3. Thanks.
The new Whirlpool W collection with Sixth Sense technology that fully guides you to achieve perfect results. Whirlpool, sensing the difference.